In the chaos of Lagos, where yellow buses blurred and the air reeked of exhaust and dreams, a young woman stepped off a rickety bus with nothing but a Ghana must go bag and a swollen belly. Her name was Amaka. She stood outside the rusted gate of a compound known only as Face Me I Slap You, a place where poverty has learned to whisper, scream, and survive. A place where families, 13, maybe 20, lived cramped in one bungalow, sharing one kitchen, one toilet, one bathroom, and one struggle. She knocked. A woman with wrappers tied above her chest opened the gate. "Who you dey find?" she asked. "I dey come stay here. Dem say una get one small room for here." The woman replied, "Na you be the new tenant?" she said. "Yes ma, na me." Soon, the compound gathered. "Na only you waka come? Where your family? Where your husband?" one woman asked out of curiosity. "I no get husband," Amaka answered as she bowed her head in shame. Faces peeked from windows and doorways. Gossip hummed. But instead of judgment, there was warmth. "Fine girl, no cry," one mama said. "This Lagos no easy. No be only marriage we go chop. We go help you raise that pikin. No just worry yourself, e go better." And true to their word, they did. Amaka, now in her third trimester, hustled daily. She took up a job as a cleaner at a restaurant in the mainland. Each morning, she carried her belly through markets and buses. She came back with blistered feet and aching hips, sometimes too tired to cook. But every evening, Mr. Ken, a quiet bachelor who lived two doors down, would bring her a plate of food. "Amaka, take. You need strength for that baby." He became a friend, a helper. He never asked questions, he just smiled. Months passed. One rainy night, under a flickering bulb, Amaka gave birth in a tiny room. The scream echoed through the compound, and women rushed to her side. Boiling water, towel, prayers, and all came together. And then, a cry, a baby girl. They named her Oma, that is, goodness. Neighbors came with baby wrappers, used toys, tin milk and nylon bag of second-hand clothes. Even Mr. Ken bought baby lotion and a teddy bear. It wasn't perfect, but it was something like hope. Years passed. Oma grew, bright, curious, always humming tunes she heard from passing radio sets. Amaka would strap her to her back every morning as she went to work. On hot days, Oma clung to her mother's sweaty neck, murmuring tiny questions about the world. But money was tight, too tight. Malaria came like a thief. Amaka would beg for money to buy drugs. Once, Oma almost convulsed. It was Mr. Ken who rushed out to get her paracetamol syrup and ORS. "Thank you," Amaka whispered. "No problem. I love kids." He smiled. By the time Oma turned 3, it was time for her to be enrolled in school. But tuition fee was so expensive that Amaka could barely afford. One night, Amaka heard a knock on the door. She opened it, and it was Mr. Ken standing by the door with some cash in his hands. "Take this," he said. "E no good as you dey carry dis fine girl dey go work all the time. Her mates don start school finish and she dey here dey do wetin?" Amaka in tears collected the money, knelt to the ground and thanked him. "You no know wetin you don do for me. Na God go bless you for me." Now, Amaka could finally enroll her in a nearby nursery. It was a humble place, cracked wall, and wooden benches, but it meant safety while she walked. So she thought. Each afternoon, Oma would return by 2 p.m., and Mr. Ken, still the kind neighbor, offered to keep her until Amaka returned. Let her rest in my room, better than sitting under the sun, he said. Amaka hesitated, but what choice did she have? Oma would now stay with Mr. Ken until Amaka comes back from work. Soon, Oma stopped laughing. She flinched when men passed. She began wetting the bed again. Amaka noticed, but the stress of Lagos drowned her instincts. One morning, Oma cried and clung to her mother's wrapper. I don't want to stay with Mr. Ken. Why? She asked. I don't like him, she replied. Did he beat you? She shook her head. Did he shout at you? She said no. Then what? Oma whispered. I don't like him. She was only 4, but the fear in her eyes said more than her words ever could. Then came the day everything shattered. Amaka had gone to work feeling weak, her chest tight, her limbs heavy. Her boss, usually cold and unbothered, noticed. Amaka, she said, you look like you go collapse for here. Oh. Go home and rest. Take small rest. And so she did. Amaka left her workplace, dragging her body through the market. Amaka thought only of her daughter. Let me go and pick Oma from Mr. Ken's room first. Then we will rest together. The compound was quiet. Too quiet. She reached Mr. Ken's door. It was slightly open. She stepped inside, and in that moment, her world ended. There he was, Mr. Ken, crouched behind Oma, her baby, her child. Her dress was torn, her legs trembling, and his hands. Amaka screamed, a scream so raw it shook the zinc roofs. Neighbors rushed in. Mr. Ken bolted out the back. Into the chaos of Lagos, he vanished. Amaka gathered Oma in her arms, sobbing, shaking, blaming herself, but it wasn't over. 2 days later, Amaka returned from the chemist with sachets of paracetamol. When she stepped into the room, she froze. Oma laid on the floor. Her little dress was soaked in dry blood. She was burning with fever. Eyes rolled back. Lips dried and cracked. Amaka screamed again. She carried her child through muddy streets, stopped a passing keke, and burst into the hospital. Doctors examined her. Nurses whispered. Finally, one approached. His voice was gentle, too gentle. Madam, he said, your daughter has internal injuries. Severe. She's bleeding inside, and we suspect sepsis. We need emergency surgery immediately. Amaka asked how much. They told her the amount. She had barely half. She ran through Lagos like a madwoman, begging, crying, knocking on neighbors' doors. Abeg, na my pikin life. Make una help me. Abeg. She sold her phone, her wrappers, her earrings. She pawned her dignity. Finally, she returned to the hospital, clutching the last bundle of cash, trembling with hope. Doctor, please, she begged. Take this. Do the surgery. I go find the rest later. But he didn't take the money. He looked at her, his mouth stiff. I'm sorry, he said. She's gone. Amaka collapsed. She screamed. She rolled on the floor. She clawed her chest. Nurses tried to hold her, but her pain could not be held. She wailed until her voice broke, until there was nothing left but silence and sound of her own heartbeat. She stayed in the hospital till morning. No one came to take her away. The next day, Rain poured endlessly. Lagos traffic crawled. Life went on, and Amaka, barefoot and soaked, stood at the edge of the bridge of the third mainland bridge. She looked at the clouds. She looked at the water, and she whispered, I am sorry, Oma. I should have listened. I should have come home earlier. I failed you. She took a step forward, and the city swallowed her. Mr. Ken was never found. The police came once, took statements, and left. Another tenant moved into his room, and life continued. Say no to child abuse. Let's pay close attention to our children. While we understand that parents are often busy with work and daily responsibilities, it is important that we should still pay close attention to our children. Molesters are everywhere, in schools, churches, our neighborhoods, even within our extended families. They can come in form of uncles, aunties, siblings, or trusted family friends. Let's not overlook the signs. Sometimes children don't speak out, not because they don't want to, but because they are scared or unsure of how to express what they are going through. Pay attention, even to what they don't say, can make all the difference. Let's protect every child. Let's speak up for the silent ones. Say no to child abuse. Be alert. Be involved. Be their voice.